If you were ever a fan of classic Screwattack, you may remember they had a habit of making countdowns where they'd predict the video game headlines that would be made that year, and I decided to keep that tradition going for 2019. Today I'm gazing into my crystal ball to tell you all the biggest things to expect in the near future of gaming, and by the time it's all said and done, you're all going to look back at this video and either say I was nuts, or that I really can see into the future. So now without further ado, hey, I'm the Cartoon Gamer with the top 10 headlines of 2019. Enjoy, everybody. So we all know Konami went off their rocker in 2015 and decided that making fans happy just wasn't working out for them. But this'll be the year they finally come to their senses. Their first announcement is that they're making awesome licensed games again. And to kick it all off is a beat-em-up platformer hybrid for a series that's as relevant now as when Konami first teamed up with them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, baby! Being based on the new series Rise of the TMNT, the game's got an art style identical to the show, and includes over 30 levels, each with their own sets of jaw-dropping backdrops, and also has 4-player co-op for local and online play. This is the first step in Konami regaining that special place in our hearts, but much to the dismay of many, the game is ripe with current Konami trappings. Extra save files and characters can only be accessed with real money, and Donnie is the only playable turtle by default. Baby steps, I guess. The rumors were true! Following in line with the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane trilogy, Crash Team Racing is getting a brand new facelift slated for a June release, but the speculation is far from over. If you recall, the Twitter page for Spyro the Dragon made a sly reference to CTR's Glacial Park track, and fans are all but convinced this barely visible blur is none other than Crash in his go-kart, hinting that everyone's favorite purple dragon is making his way to the game. Among the previous crossovers, Crash fans worth their salt will know Spyro was in fact an unlockable racer in the GBA version of Nitro Kart, so this isn't as crazy as you might think. But with Nitro fueled, things really get wild when Snoop Dogg makes the scene as a secret racer. He's no stranger to pairing up with cartoon mascots, having appeared in Rayman Legends a couple years prior, and given the fact he and Spyro became good friends over the last couple months, it seems only natural that Spyro would invite him along for the ride. Unfortunately, this will not help either franchise regain its legs in Japan, and both Crash and Spyro continue to flounder in the land of the rising sun. But at least we got Snoop Dogg.
Hey y'all, snippity diggity.
After Pokemon fans were all but certain either a Sun and Moon port or Gen 8 was on the horizon last year, we can bet this year we'll see the debut of the series proper on the Switch, as confirmed by Game Freak themselves. The new games will take place in a land based off of Australia, known as the Gudai region. Tons of landmarks will be referenced, and we'll see Pokemon based on marsupials, Australian legends, and every fully evolved one will be able to kill you in their own special way and get sent straight to the Uber tier, just like real Australia. The games will also be compatible with the last set of games on 3DS, Pokemon Bank, and Pokemon Go, bringing all types of fans together once more. Mega Evolutions also make a return, and to coincide with the new Pokemon movie, Mewtwo gets another new form, dubbed Mewtwo Zeta. This doesn't do the movie itself any favors, and after bombing in Japan, the team goes back to a 2D style for every film onwards. Oh, and the Sinnoh remakes, they're not coming anytime soon, if ever. People can never seem to make up their minds about Capcom. One minute they're being showered in praise, and the next fans are ready to burn them at the stake. Well, this year we get a little bit of both, as Capcom pulls a Capcom and releases a definitive version of Street Fighter V that has all the content they've currently put out, plus extras on the disc, aptly named Street Fighter V 3 Years in the Making Edition, which still ends up having less content than Ultra Street Fighter 4. Or more likely, this is the year where they rebrand Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as MVC4, in an attempt to make up for the debacle of the original release. And coming from the Marvel side, as Disney calls the shots and can do whatever they please, they don't just stop at the Marvel properties, they decide to go whole hog and put in characters from their entire library of shows and movies. We're talking Scrooge McDuck, Luke Cage, Luke Skywalker, Daredevil, Wander, you name it. The possibilities are, dare I say, infinite. It's been 25 years since we last saw the Battletoads in action, and in 2019, developed by Dlala Studios under Rare's watchful eye, the Toads make their grand return. But they're not alone. Back in 2007, an internet meme got out of control where people harassed GameStop stores across the nation, asking if they had Battletoads in stock for the Nintendo Wii. And now that there is an actual game on the way, the meme is ripe for a resurface. But in a twist nobody saw coming, no GameStop will have the game in their possession, and it doesn't stop there. Not only will GameStop not have it available for pre-order, but no online retailers will have it either, getting back at prank callers from a decade past whilst killing any potential sales the game might have had, which puts Battletoads back in the grave for another 25 years, if not forever. The Nintendo 3DS is in its 8th year and is somehow still in the game, hanging on with first-party releases of enhanced ports and remakes. But this year will be its last hurrah. So to help close the doors on the aging handheld in a big way, Nintendo announces in an April Direct a full-on remake of the Mario RPG that started it all, Super Mario RPG. With Square Enix back at the helm, this remake is complete with a revamped soundtrack and compatibility with the releases on the Super NES Classic and Wii U Virtual Console. This will also coincide with a surprise reveal of Geno in Smash Ultimate via the Fighter's Pass, and a stage based on either Forest Maze, Booster Tower, or Star Hill. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi, partners in time, will continue to sit on the sidelines without a remake of its own. Sonic the Hedgehog can never seem to catch a break, and that's on full display once again with the upcoming Sonic movie. But what is surprising is that Sonic fans from all walks of life can agree that his design shown in a teaser poster rubs them the wrong way. So after Paramount Pictures hears the feedback, Sonic gets another redesign shown off that most people are pretty positive towards. Keyword being most. After some people begin to complain about the color of his eyes or the length of his legs or lack of arm wraps, Paramount decides it's just not worth the trouble, going back to basics and keeping the design they showed off in the first place. The movie itself will actually end up being pretty good, complete with a cameo from Jaleel White and a soundtrack made up of Michael Jackson hits including Angel Island Zone and Lisa It's Your Birthday from that one episode of The Simpsons. Lisa, it's your birthday, God bless you on this day. We've seen the NES and SNES classics sell gangbusters, and people are already wondering what Nintendo system will get the classic treatment next. While it makes sense to do the next home console in line, Nintendo never likes to do things conventionally, so they instead go backwards with the Game Boy Classic. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Little Gray Brick, the GB Classic features 30 titles in one package and allows you to play them all on the big screen. It's complete with Super Game Boy functionality with unique banners for every game and even features a select number of Game Boy Color titles. Games in the collection include the Super Mario and Donkey Kong Land trilogies, Zelda Link's Awakening, Pokemon Pinball, and a Mega Man port or two. This will bide enough time for Nintendo as they try to figure out how they're gonna make an N64 classic work when they don't have the rights to Rare's library, and they really don't want to ask for them. No real reason why, they just don't want to look desperate. Retro Studios have been on radio silence for a suspiciously long time, haven't they? After the release of Tropical Freeze, they've supposedly been working on their next project, but no one has heard a peep from them since. But at E3 2019, we'll finally find out what the heck they've been doing these last 5 years. In a perfect world, it's the third and final entry in the rebooted Donkey Kong Country trilogy, tentatively titled Baja Blast. This will mark the Kremling's return to the series, of course being led by King K. Rool, fresh off the heels of Smash, and it includes Animal Buddies both old and new, another David Wise soundtrack, and over 100 brilliantly designed levels to sink your teeth into, slated for a holiday release. We later find out the reason it took so long to announce was because Retro was too busy posting about Texas barbecue on Twitter to remember they had to, put something out. Alrighty, let's hit the old futuristic recap before we get to number 1. Number 10, Konami continues to be stupid. Number 9, Crash, Spyro, and Snoop Dogg burn rubber. Number 8, Pokemon goes down under. Number 7, Disney goes crazy on MVC4. Number 6, Battletoads prankers become the prankies. Number 5, Super Mario RPG remake, I can't wait! Number 4, Sonic's fans come together just to divide. Number 3, Game Boy Classic on the way. And number 2, Donkey Kong Country Baja Blast. It's been nearly 4 years since we first heard about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and people are starting to get concerned. Part of what is unofficially known as the Kickstarter trifecta, with the other parts made of Yooka-Laylee and Mighty No. 9, Bloodstained will finally see a release this year, but like the games that came before it, reception will be mixed, with some people liking it and others hating it, and it will unfortunately suffer the worst of the Kickstarter backlash. Bloodstained was the last-ditch effort of sticking it to the man and giving the fans what they wanted, and as we all know, 3 strikes and you're out. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back, and as a result, several other crowdfunded games get the axe before they get the chance to come out. Shenmue 3? Cancelled! Red Ash? Cancelled! Indivisible? Cancelled! And you know what, let's just put the Final Fantasy VII Remake on there as well. Cancelled! Everybody will then go back to playing as Simon and Richter in Smash Brothers until a true blue Castlevania gets announced. It happened with Mega Man. I don't see why it can't happen again. Hey there guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed what you saw, as well as my little tribute to classic Screwattack. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to give this video a like, share it with a friend, subscribe, check out all my social media pages, you know, all that good stuff. And be sure to check out my Patreon page. I've got little blogs and behind the scenes stuff, so if those interest you, feel free to check out the link below. And be sure to tell me what gaming headlines you think, what you know will be made this year. If we just list off a bajillion of them, one of them is bound to be right. And with all that said, I will see you guys next time. Laters.